Right. So you literally wrote the book on being a chief petty officer in the Navy. I mean, how many people can say that?
Well, I revised the first one.
Fair enough. Fair enough. There's a lot of guys in the Navy, right? And, not all of them are going to sit down and read the knowledge, right? So how do you get a kid who's, he spends a lot more time on his phone than anything. How do you get that kid to actually sit down and read, a chief petty officer's guide, a petty officer's guide? Like, can the social media work? Can you really plug into that stuff, or does the security stuff and everything kind of prevent the sailors from plugging into social media in a professional capacity? How do you do that?
So I think there's a variety of things, right? So when I talk communication, I'm always about use all your vehicles, right? So I use the written word. I'm going to use social media tools. So as well as I do, right? A lot of books are out there. A lot of people would argue that people read less with books. I don't know if that's necessarily true, but it's the platform. The way I wrote it was not as hey, here's how you do, chief petty officer. Here's how you do sailor. It was kind of teeing up some, I'm a big fan of power-based and influence tactics and management skills. So I kind of teed up those fundamental theories and then put them into a Navy context, but it's really presented for them to self-reflect. So if I go to a section on management skills, at the end of that section, it's like, okay, how well do you do these following things? And then there were questions at the end of the chapters for them to bring into the chief's mess to discuss. But the Cutlass podcast came out with a recognition that, hey, they're in this digital space now, right? So if they're not reading, they're going to listen to a podcast. They're going to watch a video. I've even thrown down, I don't have the bandwidth.
How big is your audience for the podcast?
So I got about 150 subscribers now, right? I just went over 2,000 listens. So it doesn't sound like a lot, but it takes time, right? But yeah. I think I'm at the point to where it's going to pick up and go. But there's forums like this are important, right? So I've even written down, I'm on a few of these networking groups. I might start, like Cutlass Coaching, I tee up a topic like this and you link it to the book. So I think the book is really hey, I'm a chief petty officer, get it signed. It's like a charge book kind of thing. But I think the real learning happens. I think they'll read it. But I think the real learning happens in a digital age in forms like this. So I think you got to use them all.